Good evening. Welcome to the Bitter Knitters podcast. It is Monday, November 5th, 2018. Remember the 5th. Is it 5th or 4th of November? 5th of November, right?
5th, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the big bombing, or was supposed to be the bombing of England, right? What do you call that? Their parliament? Guy Fawkes Day? Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Guy Fawkes Day, November 5th. He was going to bomb the parliament and kill everybody.
I can't say I know too much about Guy Fawkes because I hate all those fucking conspiracy theorist assholes and shit. You know what I mean?
I think for the British. But.
Well, it aggravates me that every dickhead on Facebook that just likes to spout off about lizard people has some stupid fucking Guy Fawkes anonymous fucking profile pic. So
you're gonna blame that on V for Vendetta, right?
Exactly, and that's exactly what it is because it's so fucking edgy.
Yeah. So we're back. We're the Bitter Knitters. My name is Jacqueline. Arthur's here.
Yo.
We had a lot of crap going on in our lives the last month, I think, since we've had a show. So
yeah.
I've been working hella a lot. I finally had a little tantrum and said I don't want to work that much. So we should be back on Thursday with another show. And hopefully Ryan will be able to join us that day. Who knows where he is today? So, I mean, anything new?
I'm sure there's tons of shit that's new, but weed's legal, so my fucking brain ain't working too well.
Did you order from there? Or?
No, hell no. Fuck OCS.
So I did. I wanted to try. So on, shortly after midnight on the 17th, I attempted to order. I did not understand the website. I didn't understand the terminology. That was the problem. So it took me a while to figure out, and then I thought, well, I'll just see what I get.
Yep.
So I ordered one pre-roll. I didn't know if you were getting one pre-rolled joint or if it was like a package of pre-rolled joints. I had no idea what was going on, and then I ordered it to something. And it took me 5 business days to get it. I got it on the Monday following. So
that's not too bad.
I know that people still haven't gotten theirs.
Yep.
But
see, my problem isn't the quality, the quantity, it coming through the mail. That's not my beef. My beef is the fact that the ombudsman in Ontario that's making the legislation is an absolute moron and is taking licenses away from brick and mortar fucking dispensaries that have been standing for 5 years since we introduced legalized medical dispensaries. Just so I honestly can't even say for it just so. It doesn't make fucking sense to me.
I think it's just as a punishment.
Do you know what I mean? It makes zero fucking sense to me how these idiots think that buying 200 tons of marijuana is going to fucking satiate the largest pot smoking fucking population in the country. You know what I mean?
Every province had shortfalls because people wanted it. People wanted to buy it legally if they could,
exactly.
And they couldn't supply.
No. So anybody listening in Ontario that is a marijuana user, I implore you to find an online medical dispensary. They've been operating out west for years. All the kinks are gone. They have consistent rotations of consistent strains for your medicine. It's aggravating. It's aggravating to me that since legalization, people that actually need it as medicine can't get their fucking medicine because the government fucked everything up. It's aggravating beyond words.
And you know what's also is the Liberal government was going to have brick and mortar stores when they opened up.
Yep.
And they, of course, were like, hell no, we're not going to do that. As the new government, we don't want to get involved with, actually physically touching it.
Yeah.
So they canceled that. So people couldn't go in. Anybody who's a newbie to it and doesn't understand it or it's just very casual, only maybe at someone's party and had a puff or two, but never physically purchased it because they were maybe afraid or just never were that interested in it.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to go in and smell it or touch it or talk to somebody and explain. At least when they go to the stores, they explain the THC levels, the CBD levels, and all this stuff. And your questions are being answered. And then at least you feel like you're a little more empowered. They've canceled that, and now come in April, they're going to have some stores open with licenses. But none of the previously existing stores will be getting licenses. They've already said 100% they will not grant them licenses,
which is absolutely ridiculous. These people have suppliers again with constant rotations of proper fucking medicine, but the ombudsman here is an absolute idiot who has fucked this whole thing over. It's insane to me that provinces that I looked at as a little bit more backwater conservative have way more liberal fucking standing with medical or with legal marijuana. It's crazy to me that New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, PEI, this shit's going off without a fucking hitch. And those provinces to me have always been conservative backwater fucking shitholes, politically at least, right? And here we are in liberal as fuck Ontario, and we're dealing with what, fucking reefer madness nonsense? Like, fuck out of here.
Yeah, 3-week delays. Like, I just don't understand how it could have been that bad. You knew it was coming. You knew people wanted it.
Yep.
I really can't understand why. And you can't blame the postal strike.
No. Well, even that, the ombudsman, the guy that's making the legislation, he was on the news and he quoted, he's like, oh, well, who would have thought that the criminals that sold pot would have lied to us? Why the fuck are you going to the criminals for information? There are states in the U.S. that have been legal for years. Why the fuck are we not copying exactly what Colorado's doing? Why are you trying to reinvent the fucking wheel?
It's 100% been like Colorado, right? And we have had no issues.
Since we started the show and we started talking about legalization, though, I kept fucking saying, let's look at Colorado. Let's look at Colorado. Let's look at Washington. Let's just fucking do what they're doing because they're doing it before us. They're gonna fix the kinks, and we're like, fuck it. We'll start at zero again because we're fucking smart.
You know, that's the most, and every province, this is the thing too, is now I know in the States it's being legalized state by state. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
In Canada, it was legalized Canada-wide on the same day. I don't know why there wasn't just a full set of rules for every province. If you only wanted to do it online for the whole country, that's fine. The whole country did it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? You can't have different standards in different provinces. No. It's so stupid.
Right. And even the online thing is pretty fucking dumb. You know what I mean? Because it's fair. You can't just drop a package off. I mean, although that's how mine comes, but whatever. You know, but in all honesty, especially with these boxes saying OCS on them, Ontario Cannabis Store, you can't just leave them at someone's house because I'll fucking rob it. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. So the mail person has to fucking know someone's there. Mail normally comes when everyone's at fucking work. So, like, the whole thing's just dumb. It's fucking stupid.
This was so I was waiting and I was checking and I'm like, when's it gonna come? And they're like, okay, it's gonna come on the Monday. Well, of course, Monday's election day.
Yeah.
And doesn't it? I come home from voting at 2:17 p.m. And there in my mailbox is my notice, and they were there at 2:15. I missed like 2 minutes, and I had to go to the fucking post office.
Yeah. It's dumb. It's really stupid how our province is handling it. And I don't understand why we're the only province in the entire country.
I honestly would have preferred to go into a store.
Yep.
Because like I said, I'm not that well versed on it. I don't know that much about it. I would have liked to ask some questions. Like, I don't want to have like the highest potency. I have high blood pressure. I don't want to have a heart attack. I'm scared of that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
It's exactly that.
I don't need to be like passed out, you know, from one hit, you know.
It's just,
I would have really liked to have gone in and talked to somebody, and there was no way to I really did not understand. That's why I'd sent you a message, but you were gone to bed or celebrating too hard, whatever it was.
Fuck only knows. But it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. It's such a joke. Again, the fact that people that actually need this for medicine in my province can't get their fucking medicine because our government is a bunch of fucking morons.
That is what's upsetting, because I mean, it's one thing that recreational users can't get it. You'll live. Get over it.
Right? Like, I don't give a fuck that I can't get recreational pot from the government. I don't give a fuck. I still know black market guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking care. But those people that need it to fucking, you know, be hungry after their fucking chemo treatments, and they can't fucking get it now because you guys think you fuking know better?
Or you're just in full body pain because you are dying of cancer.
Right? No, I'm sorry. Like, I'm fucking sorry. I do not understand why the fuck it's elected officials telling us how we can't fucking consume this marijuana.
For the last, you know, God, how long has it been illegal in Canada? 80, 100 years?
100 some odd years.
How bad it is for us. And only once the Liberal government said, no, it's being legalized, all these conservative old men jumped on the companies and bought companies and invested in companies.
Right.
And now they're trying to control who you can buy it from.
Yeah, no, fuck all of them. Like, you know, I say it all the time that I'm a conservative voter, but this might be a thing that might fucking swing me to the other side. Like, and
what I do like about the Doug Ford government in this situation is that they are going to give licenses to people. So, like, you know, if you and I wanted to go into business together and open up a shop, we could do that come April. You know, which I think is where you can make a lot more money for the government and
100%.
for the community.
I've always said the privatization, like the private sector of marijuana sales is where we're going to make the actual money. The government is not going to make the kind of money they think they're going to make, because regardless of what they think, most marijuana users don't trust the fucking government, and they don't want to give you our fucking money.
Exactly.
Right?
And here's the thing. I mean, if you want just straight up, you know, an ounce of weed, like you said, you can go to any dealer and get it. Now, if you want to go and have a fancy brownie, or you want a high-end meal where everything has weed incorporated in it, or if you want to go to one of these places where you can like vape it and these fancy bongs and all kinds of crazy shit, tea, smoke houses, like there's going to be all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and that's where the innovation is going to be.
You know? Oh, the private sector is where the money's going to be made. I'm still yet to be fucking convinced otherwise. The private sector is where, you know, Canada will make its money on marijuana.
There's going to be so much tourism. Like, I really wish I had the money to start like a cannabis bed and breakfast where people can come in and have a safe place to eat, drink, smoke. You know, and you know, you don't have to worry about your job finding out, your mom, your dad, any of those people, and you have a safe place where people are on standby in case you get green. What is it? Green out?
I have no idea, but yeah, you know, just anyone listening, if you're into legal marijuana or just marijuana in general in Canada, and you don't want to use OCS, message me through the show, and I will show you where to go to get way better shit that you don't have to go through any of this nonsense.
Yeah, you were telling me about the one you use. It seems really convenient and easy.
It's amazing. Like I said, the reason why I use this company is because they have guaranteed 12 strains, and they have it on a rotation that regardless of what, every 2 weeks you can get the exact same marijuana. Yeah. Now, when we're talking about medicine, you can't beat that. You cannot beat that, right?
I mean, you need a strong strain because of whatever you need.
Right? So now I always buy this one type of marijuana that's called Violator, and it really helps with my fucking anxiety. So I, constantly get that time in, time out, time in, time out. The OCS cannot guarantee me that. They cannot guarantee that I can get the exact same fucking strain, the same potency to help alleviate my fucking symptoms.
Yeah.
Time in and time out. And that's another reason why I can't support them.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Did you see some of the numbers of the sales?
I know that Alberta made like 1.6 million in a weekend.
Yeah. On the first day alone, they made $750,000.
Yeah.
In Alberta, which is crazy. That's not a huge populated province.
No, it's really not.
Ontario processed on their OCS website 100,000 orders.
Yeah.
So you don't even know, but even if everybody spent an average of $20, that's $2 million.
Yep.
In one day. Now, if they had the kinks worked out, can you imagine how much more money they could be making?
You know what I mean? Or, the fact that people have wised up to the fact that when you buy a gram from the government, it's actually 0.3, 0.4. You're paying more for less fucking pot. They're fucking us. They're brand new drug dealers. They're fucking diamond nickel bag sellers. They are ripping you the fuck off. Do not go to them. Fucking Canada, we have to band together and not buy the government weed. We have to tell them that this is fucking unacceptable. This is not what was promised.
Well, it'll be
promised us legalization.
On 420, people are going to be angry at the government, and there's going to be protesting. You know, people thought 420 would go away.
Oh fuck no! Oh fuck no! Yeah. It's going to be so much worse now because now you can't stop me from doing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Now, when Toronto gets hazy, it's going to be freaking hazy legal. And I've been, and I know it's legalized, but I still get scandalized when I see people just smoking it on the street in broad daylight. I'm like, oh my God.
So on Saturday, I went and met my sister and her husband and my niece downtown for lunch. And I was kicking myself in the ass the entire time going to Liz. I'm like, fuck, I should have brought a joint. And she's like, why? I'm like, because it's fucking legal now. It never stopped me before. I'd always smoked dope walking up and down Queen Street, but it's legal now. No one can say shit.
You just be like, blow it right in the face or something.
I want to go stand out front of fucking Holt Renfrew and just fucking, you know what I mean? But
as long as you're not within the door, whatever the 9 meters is or whatever it is.
They can blow me.
The very first night I was waiting at work for my son to come out, and I saw some guy smoking it in front of the Chicken Joy, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh yeah, it's legal now.
It's legal. Can't say shit.
Yeah, I still get scandalized. I'm a woman in my 40s, right?
I get it.
It's still scandalous. So
I get it. There's a lot of ingrained reefer madness in a lot of us.
Yeah,
there really is.
Just say no, and drugs are bad, and all that stuff. That's my
war on drugs. You know what I mean? But I mean, who would have thought that drugs would have won? Whoever would have thought.
Arthur, you know, come April, I think what we need to do is you and I start a home business where we do like, you teach people how to cook.
Yeah.
And then I'll just, you know, take part of the profits.
Communism.
I'll help you. I'll drive you to the party.
Yeah, that's a no for me. Now, another thing that I'm angry about is, again, so we're legally allowed to grow 4 plants, right?
Right.
But the sale of clones is still illegal.
What, is that the seeds or is that the actual little seed?
That's a guaranteed female plant. That means I am guaranteed to get flour out of it. I can buy seeds, but I buy 100 seeds, 99 of them will be fucking male, and that'll ruin my one female. So now I'm fucked, right?
How do you know it's a male? Like, how do you know?
Well, one produces flour, one doesn't. And the second female, when they're both in their juvenile stage, the second female is near a male, it switches sexes and now it's a male. So they're great for cross pollination, right? So like that's how you end up with those like sour diesel times fucking you know camel fucker, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Weed names are crazy.
They are.
Right? So you just take a male plant and you pollinate the female. You just shake all that crystal over top of it, and now you have a crossbred plant. But I want clones. I want guaranteed female clones. Like, why am I going to waste my fucking time and my money, you know, fucking around when I'm only allowed to have 4?
And the government's not selling seeds.
No.
Either. So where are you supposed to get them if they're illegal?
From the Emerys, those pricks.
Who won't be able to get licenses because they have existing.
Right, because they have existing. Well, and like it's so fucking crazy because, like, you know, I talk a lot of shit about the Emerys. I'm not a fan of the optics of them, you know, but like they are true fucking like activists, marijuana activists. They've been
doing it for years,
you know. And by all means, those people should be allowed some fucking profits. You know, they put their fucking freedom, their reputations on the line to help Canadians out with this kind of shit. But I mean, you're a criminal, man. What the fuck you want, you know? Like,
yeah. Okay, well, you know, I think that was a good first topic.
I'll rant and rave about this a lot more throughout the years. Like, trust me.
Sure, there'll be more to come. And you know, I mean, look, we waited and waited for that day, and it came, and it's kind of anticlimactic, I guess.
Yeah, I'd fucking say.
So, let's talk about now tomorrow's big news in America. It's been the day everybody's been waiting for since 2016, November 8th, I guess.
Yep.
Midterm elections. This is the chance that the Democrats have been, you know, saying there's going to be a blue wave and they're going to take back the House and the Senate. Well, looks like they're probably not going to get the House, but they may get the Senate.
Yeah. Either way, it's a win. It's a win for the Democrats.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They've got to get some seats in there. And it looks like they might get some interesting seats, like in places like in Florida. I was really hoping we were going to beat that horrible Ted Cruz, but it looks like he may win still. Yeah. Who knows?
There's a lot of people that were, you know, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're Trump. I mean, it's hard to put this in words. Yeah. They've been let down. You know what I mean? Like they saw this man, they saw this, you know, what they think is an outsider. And they were like, yeah, this guy cares about me, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then they realized, well, fuck, I'm not a billionaire. He doesn't care about me. No. He doesn't actually hold my values, you know. So I know some people that are going to cross from red to blue.
There's been a lot of flip-flopping. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people feeling betrayed. I just was reading an article today in the New York Times about the soybean farmers.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how, like, you know, this guy's literally got, you know, 1 million tons of soybeans sitting in his silos and China won't buy them because of the tariffs.
Exactly.
And, you know, he feels betrayed. Now, there's still farmers that are like, you know what, we're going through the hard times because Trump's going to make it good for our kids. Yeah. But a lot of the farmers are like, no, what the hell is going on? He was supposed to protect us, and he's not. He screwed us. I don't get why people don't see. Like, I mean, the taxes. You're not getting any of this tax break, people, unless you are a millionaire, billionaire.
Yep.
He screwed your health care.
Yep.
He took away your gerbs, you know?
You know, and again, like, it'd be hard for you to convince me, not you, but just anybody, to tell me that he changed Obamacare to whatever the fuck it is now, only because the fact it had Obama's name on it. You know what I mean? Like, I was talking to my sister and her husband about this. You know, he's an American, so they're very, very in tune with this stuff. And I said, you know, it just feels to me as though everything that he's doing, or did, was just to erase Obama's legacy because, you know, they didn't get along, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I can understand why for the Democrats this midterm really, really matters to them, but I still don't think this really matters. You still have a guy that can fucking, veto shit if he wants.
Yeah.
Sign executive orders if he wants.
So I don't understand. Like, I mean, the people need to get out there, and really, they really need. I mean, it's heartbreaking to me, and it's not just in America, but in Canada, when you have like 45% of the vote turn out, eligible voters turn out, and it's like, why are you sitting there and allowing this to happen? I mean, change can happen. It's never overnight. It's never overnight. And yes, sometimes the bad guy wins. It just happened to us in Ontario, But at least, you got to get out for your municipal elections and try to change it at least the municipal level. You got to get in the next federal election. You've got to do something. And if you know that the House and the Senate can at least stop him to some degree.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
They're voting. Like,
right.
The voter apathy in these countries is shocking to me.
Well, that too. And I mean, I can't say I've really noticed it too much with my Canadian friends, the ones that are at least politically conscious. You know, I don't know too many single issue voters.
Yeah.
But a lot of the Americans I talk to, it's like, oh, well, they're against abortion and they want me to keep my guns. I don't care that they're going to fuck the rest of my life over. They're anti-abortion and pro-gun. They get my vote. And it's like, you have to fucking, you can't sell yourself short like that. You know what I mean? You cannot be a single or a small fucking, platform voter. You can't do that. You have to look at the big picture. And I'm really sick and tired of people voting against the best interests of not only themselves, but their fucking, their countrymen, their citizens.
Yeah.
Also, they can feel vindicated in their bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad.
People posting about, let's get these people off welfare and these immigrants. And it's like, you know what? I've never been on welfare in my life. I mean, maybe when I was a kid, my dad took welfare a couple months. But as an adult, I've never been on welfare. We've been on unemployment because I was on maternity leave and Scott was in school.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, I've known people on welfare. I've loved many people on welfare. But does welfare law affect me personally? Probably not. But that doesn't mean I don't think it's a necessity for people. I think that people should have health care. I have dental program, but that doesn't mean I don't think that poor people should have access to dentists. They absolutely should. Like, just because I'm doing a little bit better in life doesn't mean I forgot about the people that aren't doing better in life. There's mental illness, there's homeless, there's so many people that they're suffering, people that have to go to food banks, every week.
Yep.
We need to do something about it, not just, cut everything.
It sucks, and I'm, I kind of do agree that, at some point in time, like the helping hand does have to go away.
Yeah.
At some point in time, enough is enough. You've had your fucking chance. Like, you've suckled off the public's teat for long enough.
Yeah.
Why haven't you bettered yourself? You know what I mean?
I agree. Welfare should be a stepping stone to help you get on your feet and move along.
It's not a fucking economic plan to success.
When your other kid's about to turn 18.
Right.
And like, get your next check, And
that's where I get conflicted with that, because I grew up
then when your next kid's about to be 18, they have a kid.
They have a kid. Or they teach their young kids to have as many fucking children as they can because of welfare checks.
There are people like that. And look, we're not talking about immigrant people. Nope. We're talking about people we know that are Canadian born and bred.
Oh yeah, no, I'm literally taking fucking, this is from my own life. These are my own life experiences that I'm talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
And I know of a family where they encouraged their daughter at 12 years old, the second she had her first period, to start fucking having kids because the welfare check will be amazing.
That's sick.
It's disgusting, right? Now, I have a problem with that. I have a fucking huge problem with that. Our social services should not be there to provide you with your fucking life. They should be there to help you provide your own fucking life.
Yes.
And I've said it time and time again, and I'll keep fucking saying it. I believe in a successful nation where everyone prospers. We have to have social programs that help people. There's no way you're convincing me otherwise,
Absolutely.
We need that kind of stuff. I hate seeing shit like that being abused. So I get it. But there's no way I would fucking vote solely on that issue. And that's my problem, is there's so many single issue voters out there. And like I said, I've experienced it way more with my American friends than I have with my Canadian friends.
Yeah, I feel like Canadians are a little more I won't even say educate because I know a lot of people that are not.
Yep.
But the ones that do vote, you're right. They're, you know, it's more than just that. It's about school or health or immigration or whatever. Even if you're anti everything, at least you understand why you are.
Exactly. But I, you know, it's just talking to a few of my friends from down south and hearing a lot of it has to just deal with immigration or just, you know, watching more fucking libtards get fucking triggered. And it's like, you know, why are you selling us all fucking short? Because like, even at that point in time, I mean, you're not even just selling American citizens short. You're selling fucking the entire world short.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's face it, when fucking Donnie Bitchtit said, make America great again, or America #1, he meant the rest of us. Like, we have to put America first. And no, that doesn't fucking work.
Yep.
So, like, you're fucking the rest of us.
Soybeans are sitting in your fields. Yep. That's why China doesn't give a shit and is not buying your stuff, does not give a shit.
Yep.
They can buy it. They'll go other places. There's lots of other markets in the world.
Fucking right. You know, it's a shame. And, I mean, I know that...
If people starve, it doesn't.
Right? And, like, so let's say the blue wave happens tomorrow, right? What does it change? What does it actually fucking change? Because that fucking moron has implemented so many fucking things that take precedent. Oh, like the Democrats are going to have to sit there and fight, like whatever that trans bill was or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know the ins and outs of that. I've just seen people fucking spouting off about it on the internet. You know, so they're going to have to waste all their fucking time dealing with these just absolutely absurd things he's done, forcing them to ignore his Muslim.
The hope for this, what I would imagine, right, is hope. You know, at least these things won't be passed in the House or the Senate. If he writes an executive order, At least then they can go to courts and fight him. Like, you know, when he tried to do the full-on Muslim travel ban. That went to the courts. You know, I mean, he never got his health care passed, and he had the majority.
Like, and that's kind of where I see a lot of this stuff. Like, I kind of do feel like he already knows, like his whole cabinet, his administration knows that the blue wave's coming. You know, they're not going to win these midterms. I think they know that. And I think that's why, and for the last, you know, few months to the last year, he's kind of ramped up the crazy. You know what I mean? Like, he's ramped up the fact that, like, a lot of the shit he's trying to do is just not conducive in a democracy. Like, that's not democratic. Like, that's just not who the fuck we are. And I have a feeling it is just the, you know, it's the look over here while I fuck you over here.
It's a government of fear. And I mean, I understand every government wants to win, you know, and I understand every government, I want to place on fears to somebody to some degree. You know what I mean? But I mean, he really is a government of fear. Like, the immigrants are coming, the Muslims are coming, the terrorists are coming. Everybody's coming. You know, everybody's acting. And I mean, even this guy I always talk about at work, he keeps telling me how the migrants are going to show up the day after the midterms. And I'm like, no, they're a month to 2 months away. They're 900 miles from the border.
Right.
But if you listen to Fox News and these right-wing websites, they're about to climb the wall right now.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I mean, even that, the caravan thing fucking trips me out. Like, shit about it just doesn't add up to me.
How so?
It's just kind of odd, you know, that many people. I mean, how do you feed that many people every day? How do you keep that many people hydrated every day?
Circumstance, because I keep reading the words organizers of the caravan. And when I think of, like, refugees, you know, like in Darfur or Kurdish refugees, they're just like running,
right? Like, that's what I mean. Like, and I'm not trying to say that these people.
Like, I do wonder why there's organizers, but
like, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not trying to be Alex Jones. I'm not trying to be one of those assholes. But there's some things about it that just, to me, don't seem genuine as a group of people that are trying to flee.
I wonder if we haven't heard, because I haven't done a deep dive into this. I'm wondering if maybe these quote organizers charge people some money, you know, like, you know, when they charge
the coyotes.
Yeah, but maybe instead of just being like, you know, 2 or 3 or a group of 20, now they've got 5,000.
Thousands, yeah, you know. And again, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that these people aren't fleeing their home countries because it is violent and it is terrible and they want a better life.
Or, you know, 3,000 miles to go for a Sunday trip.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people aren't going to do that just for the optics of it. But, like, again, some of it just doesn't seem too fucking right to me.
Yeah.
But who the fuck am I?
Know more. I do want to know more. I really do. Do I think that they're desperate people? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yep.
But yeah, it is a little, and I mean, and we said it before, we said it about the people that came to our border, the Haitian refugees that ran from America and came to Canada.
Yeah.
Do I think you automatically deserve to get into America? Absolutely not. You still have to go through the process. Do I think you're a criminal because you show up at the wall and say, I want to come in? No.
No,
you climb the wall, you're not a criminal.
No, going to the wall does not make you a criminal. The second you try to gain permanent access to that country and its services illegally, then you are a criminal. And no offense to you, I get why you're doing it. I mean, I have empathy as to why you're doing it. I can't say that I can relate. But, like, again, it'd be very hard-pressed to get me to feel otherwise. We are a society of law. The only reason why we have nations that are so attractive to people who don't is because of our rule of law. Because with these laws, we have built ourselves lives that are envious, right? Now, I love the fact that here in North America, at least U.S. and Canada, I mean, Mexico is a little envious for us Canadians because of fucking winter. But, you know, I love the fact that we have built a society here that makes people want to come here. Yeah. You know what I mean? I love that. I truly fucking love that. And I want you here for that reason. But you cannot jump the motherfucking border. You cannot go ahead of somebody who did it the right and legal fucking way. All because of what? Because you're scared? I'm sorry. We're all fucking scared. Yeah. You know, I might have it easier here in Canada, but I'm still just as scared as the fucking world as you are. You know, like... Absolutely.
Sister Patty says that most get food along and water along the way by aid organizations, I guess, that, you know, sit along the route. Okay. And then I have heard this, a lot have already stayed in Mexico City or in places in Mexico. So the caravan is definitely a lot smaller than when it started out in Guatemala or Honduras, wherever it started.
Yeah. No, it's just, that was one of those things that just really kind of fucked with my head, because it's like, that's a lot of people, and the logistics of moving that much people, like
that much water on your back, you know, right? Like, even if you started out with all the power bars,
like, no, it's not, you know, but like I always say, you know, if you know the information, prove me wrong, please. Like, please show me the right fucking information. I will never.
We're always willing to learn and be wrong. We don't care for.
Oh fuck no, I love being wrong. Yeah. Like, in all honesty, because the more I'm wrong means the more someone's going to teach me the fucking truth, and I can get out of my own ignorance and fucking, you know.
Yeah.
But this whole, the whole fucking thing, like this midterms, the fucking care, it just, like, I get the feeling like something bad is about to happen, but we're not going to be able to pay attention to it. You know, there always seems to be that thing, like, you know, I don't want to really say this, but the Ariana Grande bombing, I'm pretty sure that coincided with some like really nasty government shit that was going on, and we couldn't take our eyes off the fact of this terrorist attack, right?
And little 12-year-old girls got blown up at a concert,
right? Which is fucking terrible. And of course we're going to pay attention to that. That is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But you know, I get that feeling right now that we're being misdirected. Like, you know, like
I 100% believe that. You know what? I really feel like, and I read this on someone, I think it was actually your brother-in-law's. Someone shared it on his posting. Basically saying like, this is a testing ground, this trans right thing.
Yeah.
Is because there's such a small population of people that not a lot of people care about right now anyway.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do is test it out, take away their rights, and when there's no uprising, then the next step becomes, you know, maybe the gays, and the next steps are the blacks, and the next steps are the, you know, and, you know, I know you don't love him, but Bill Maher keeps saying it, a slow moving too, and he's right.
No, he's absolutely correct. You know, it's funny, like, he's been really on the fucking button with a lot of this shit. You know, he flat out said Trump was going to win. And you're a fucking idiot, Bill. You know what you're talking about. Trump.
Michael Moore laughed at him too. Right? Well, actually, Michael Moore first laughed at him, then he came back and said, "No, you're right. He's going to win."
Yep. Right. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to ignore what Maher's been saying. I mean, he's been correct, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's not obsessed with eating his own side. Right?
Because he's willing to poke criticisms at democracy, at the Democrats, at the liberals, because he's a liberal. But he's like, no, the Liberal Party needs to change, and he's right. It needs to. It needs to stop being so, like he said, offended.
You can't, like, I understand that everyone's championing a cause, and I understand that there's a lot of disenfranchised people that need the voices of the majority to step up and say, hey, we got your fucking back. I get that. I understand. But, like, I mean, I can't think of the example of where I heard it. It might have actually been on Mar, where you have these feminists that are fighting, you know, some cause, and then all of a sudden the black feminist is mad at the white feminist because it wasn't black enough, and then the Asian feminist is like, what the fuck? And then the disabled feminist is, you know what I mean? If they're just all fucking consuming one another, while you have a bunch of fucking assholes on the right that fucking really can't stand one another, all coming in on one just to fuck you over. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. The Republicans can get together.
Yeah.
Cause they all rally as much as they say, you know, let's look back to the campaigns for president, and every Republican hated Donald Trump and thought he was a fool and would not support him. Yet they all come behind him and kiss his ass now.
Exactly, because he won. Yeah. Right? It's.
And as he got more and more popular, and more people were like, "I'm voting for him," they all fell in line behind him.
Yeah. Yeah,
it didn't matter. I mean, lying Ted Cruz and his ugly wife, right? That's exactly what Donald Trump said about him, and that guy kisses Donald Trump's ass right now.
Yeah, of course, because you know he's got to stay in with his party, right? And if that's where they're at, then
Donald Trump is so good at is he's one of the most effective snake oil salesmen. You know,
100%.
He's the guy that's, you know, sleight of hand. You're looking over here while he's picking your pocket.
That's
and people
exactly
don't
what I'm
seem
saying.
to get it.
Nope.
They don't seem to get it.
No,
and that's exactly what he's doing. You know, he goes on about this Korea stuff, right?
Yeah.
And, I'm over here with Kim Jong-un and I'm doing all this Korea stuff and I'm helping you. But while this is going on, you know, tax laws are changing at home.
Exactly.
All kinds of stuff is happening. Translates are being taken away, you know?
This is exactly what I've been trying to say. Like, this is all misdirection. It's all misdirection. 100%. But he's an absolute con man. And the biggest con he ever pulled was convincing these fucking idiots that he's some kind of businessman.
He's one of them, too.
He had one company. And he only oversaw 12 employees. But yet he has you convinced that he somehow managed tens of thousands of fucking people. Yeah. And these idiots eat it up. But the truth has always been right there in front of our fucking eyes. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like, again, I hope something fucking changes with this midterm. I doubt it. You know, I become real fucking cynical about all this shit. Yeah. Like, it's hard for me to be like, well, yeah, you know, they got...
I have hope in the American politics scene. Yeah. It really is.
It is. It truly is. I don't have much faith in, you know, most of my American friends. Sorry, not sorry, guys. Like, if any of you are listening,
let's, you know, step away from that part of the politics of it and say, why don't we have much hope? Because we had the mail bombings, we had the synagogue shooting, and we just had the yoga shooting.
Yeah. Now... I want to say something about that, though. The synagogue shooting, yeah, you can lay some of that blame at Trump's feet. Absolutely. I ain't going to fucking argue that.
Yeah.
The mail bomber, that guy was doing it regardless. That guy was a fucking psychopath.
Yeah. I think Trump. I think he was just a crazy fox.
He was a crazy person. He was just he was a conspirator. He's one of those people that I always talk about, right?
Yeah.
Now, yes, their politics do normally lean to the right because it's easier on the right to hate. Like, and I'll even say that as somebody who is more right of center, it is really easy to go to hate as someone there. But that guy was going to fucking do it regardless. Like, seriously, in all honesty, that guy was going to do it regardless. The synagogue shooter, I think some of that blame can be laid on the feet of Trump.
Now, the incel guy the yoga guy is an incel guy, but he, you know, he supposedly did support Republicans. You know,
see, but even that, like, I'm conflicted by all that shit because the incel thing. As fucking laughable to me as it is, I mean, it kind of does breed extremist views. The second you self-identify as an incel, you now become violently misogynistic. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? There's no grace period to it. Like, it's just all of a sudden, like, I'd really like a date. To all of a sudden, I want to murder women because they're fucking fuckholes and they won't let me use them as such.
Yeah, because I'm such a jerk with no personality.
Right? Oh, fuck. They're the cringiest fucking group of people I've ever fucking seen. Like, it is disgusting.
You know, and it's awful because, you know, they're King Elliot or whatever the fuck his name was.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that bad looking.
Nope.
And
that was a good look. Yep.
So it tells you what kind of drip you are.
Right.
That you can't get laid in a fucking Lamborghini.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, just because you're rich and you're fairly handsome doesn't mean that you're not a piece of shit human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one owes you anything.
Even the worst gold digger could figure out that you weren't worth it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many. Like, there's these yacht girls that go out and fuck these ugliest fucking rich guys.
Oh yeah.
You know, in the Mediterranean and in the South Seas, and they'll fuck anybody because, you know, it's money.
They got money, exactly.
And this guy can't get laid?
Yep.
That tells you something about yourself, buddy.
I'd say. No, that thing's fucking weird. And
it's always the woman's fault. And what do they call them? The Megans and the...
Oh, Stacy's and Chads.
Stacy's and Chads, that's it. I knew
the
it was great names.
Chads and Stacy's.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know, like, you get the sense that the world has kind of gone to shit when you start hearing about this stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to not. It's hard to not be there and be one of those people like, oh my God, it's never been any fucking worse and blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, we still live in the most peaceful time in human fucking history. We still live in the most accepting time in all of human fucking history.
Yeah.
You know? And it's hard to stay focused on that. It really is. It's really hard to stay focused on the fact that gay marriage has been legal in Canada for what, almost 20 years now? You know,
actually, you're right. I think almost 20 years.
Right? Ireland's undoing blasphemy laws, and you know what I mean? Like, we live in such a cool fucking time.
Yeah.
But
even, I mean, they're nowhere near where they need to be yet. But even India is changing up some of their laws. Mm-hmm. You know,
it was Pakistan, right, where they freed that girl for blasphemy laws.
That's right. That just happened yesterday or today.
Right now, you do have a group of Islamic fundamentalists in the streets protesting and you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that is what it is. I can't say if I'm for or against it. But you know, we really live in the most peaceful and prosperous and forward-thinking times in fucking all of human history.
Yeah.
But it's hard to focus on it. It's so hard to see that light. Because the bad shit is fucking bad, man. Like, it's fucking insane. It's crazy that kids can't feel safe going to school. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, the fuck?
The 5 hit and runs at school bus stops last week in America? What the hell, people? Slow the fuck down.
You know, and it does. Like, it begs the question of, like, when do we have the big fucking mental health conversation? I know it's sprinkled in. You know what I mean? Every time there's one of these tragedies, you know, the mental health issue is sprinkled in there. But you can't fucking tell me that this has to be a mental health thing. It has to be.
Yeah.
It's not all just religion or religious followers that are committing this shit, right?
No.
Because, I mean, again, my personal view is that most organized religions do lead to violent tribalism. Again, hard to convince me not.
But think about it like this. I mean, we're still tribal. Right? Democrat versus Republican is still very much tribal. It's just not religiously affiliated all the time.
No, you're absolutely correct. And I've said this countless times. Yeah. Racism, sexism, fucking transphobia, all that stuff, those are symptoms. The disease is tribalism. The disease will always be tribalism, and those will always be the symptoms of it. You cannot breed that out of humans. We are a culturally tribal species.
Tests on, like, babies that can't even speak yet. They do these tests with toys and people and stuff, and they already understand, or they already lean towards an us versus them.
Exactly. It's in our nature. Like, that is what human beings are. We are culturally tribal. And, you know, it's just, again, it's so hard to focus on the good. I mean, we live in a fucking great time right now. Like, I would love to talk more about that kind of stuff, but you can't, because people are getting run over. People getting shot at school. Fucking people are mailing explosives to each. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
He didn't know what he was doing, and none of those bombs went off and killed an innocent postal worker or anybody, you know?
See, but even that, though, my conspiracy theory side is going to come out of me here.
Okay, let's hear it.
Motherfucker didn't act alone. Fuck out of here that he got 12 fucking bombs in the mail with not sufficient postage.
After he was arrested, too.
Right? Like, again, I do not understand how the motherfucker sent a 20-pound fucking bomb, or 12-pound bomb, sorry, with $2 worth of fucking postage. No. No, that does not fucking work.
A letter in Canada with the wrong postage. What the hell?
Right? So, like, there's things that don't add up. Now, I'm not saying it's some fucking, you know, like the other idiots. It's a big Democrat conspiracy to fucking cast the right in the bad light. No, y'all motherfuckers cast yourself in the bad light as is. Like, you don't need, they don't need no fucking
You don't need a conspiracy to make you look bad.
But no, he didn't.
Fox News.
That motherfucker didn't act alone. I can't see it. I can't for the life of me see a way that he could have got that many bombs in the fucking mail with insufficient postage without anybody knowing before one showed up at Obama's fucking house. How the fuck did it get past the Secret Service? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, how did it end up on his motherfucking...
Isn't that who got it?
I think so, but I'm fairly certain that it went past the security stage that it shouldn't have.
Oh, yeah, because that was a pretty suspicious looking letter to begin with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a yellow envelope with a name on it.
There's a reason why ex-presidents still have Secret Service their entire life, because crazy people are going to do some crazy fucking shit. And, like, again, some stuff doesn't add up. I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm not saying that's some fucking Democrat conspiracy to fucking, you know, I'm not saying that shit. But I don't think that motherfucker acted alone.
He had a buddy at least.
Yeah, it has to. Or some kind of underground.
Life, well, maybe he, you know, more will come out.
Oh, that motherfucker ain't talking. He's biting his tongue off.
Yeah,
biting his tongue off with a fucking scalpel.
Oh man, I just want to say this quickly. I'm not a fan of any of the mafia. I don't support any of them. The Whitey Bulger prison death.
Yeah.
What a horrible death, man. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. What a horrible death.
Hey man, you're a fucking rat. You're a fucking narc for the feds, and you're a fucking mafioso. Hey, got what you fucking deserved. Yeah. I'm sorry, not fucking sorry. There, you wanna be in that crime world? Okay, fine. By all means, be in that crime world. Man.
You reap what you sow.
Right, exactly. You follow them fucking rules, or else that's what happens. They gouge your fucking eyes out with their fingers.
How many people did he, you know, put a hit on, or did he have killed? So.
I was listening on Rogan, and apparently that was one of the big reasons why Buddy killed him. Was not only the fact that he was a snitch, was this guy holds a belief that men should never harm women, and Whitey killed women. So
see, I didn't know that. See, like I said, I don't follow. I'm not really into mafia stuff. I don't follow it. I don't watch a lot of the movies or docs, but
I'm not big on it.
He's a dirtbag, and you know, I know you were an old man and you were helpless, but you know what? It doesn't matter. You probably have a lot of helpless people in your life.
Exactly. You know, you fucking profited off death and fear, man. It's hard for me to feel sorry. It's hard.
Yeah. Let's talk about a little bit lighter, pretty serious stuff. I can't help but laugh. I don't want to laugh because it's a horrible story. A Scottish man, 22-year-old man in Haddington, was found fully clothed and lying in a pool of his own blood. He was rushed to the hospital. He was put into an induced coma. He had no genitals. What they believed happened was his genitals were covered in peanut butter, and his English bulldog literally bit them off.
Yeah, got what you got, man.
Now, here's the theory I was reading in some comments on Reddit, because I was like, oh, gross, that guy's abusing his dog. He got what he deserved. The neighbor mentioned that there had been a big party, but he was found alone in the house with the dog, Biggie Smalls. Maybe one of the theories were, do you think maybe he was drunk and his buddies put the peanut butter on his junk and then they ran away when they saw what happened?
Maybe. Where did you say this happened? Scotland?
Scotland.
Yeah, well, they have a history of having sex with sheep. No offense to the Scottish people out there, but you know, there is a history of bestiality there.
I know. Well, I immediately went to that sicko was doing the old peanut butter thing, right?
Yeah. And I mean, again, I'm not saying that Scottish people. That's more a jab at my buddy Dave. But that's fucking disgusting. And if your dog bit your dick off because you're trying to get your dog to blow you, fuck you. Like, fuck you.
When he did wake up from his coma, he did sign off to have the dog euthanized, which is sad.
No.
They could not recover the penis, by the way.
That's sad. I'm sorry. That dog is a victim of sexual abuse.
That is.
Is that how we're gonna Is that how we're gonna treat fucking children that are victims? Fuck out of here. That puppy did nothing wrong.
Bad for that dog. He did nothing but go for a peanut butter sandwich.
Right.
You know?
That puppy did nothing fucking wrong. It trusted that its owner, like all dogs do, had its best interest in mind. Not was gonna put its fucking genitals in its goddamn mouth. And, that guy should be fucking shot. It looked like a fucking
peanut butter covered hot dog. What the fuck is the dog gonna do?
Go for it. You get what you get.
But yeah, I mean, 22 years old and no dick.
Yeah, I mean, I'd kill myself. Like, I'd fucking
kill
myself.
I guess you could get a reproduction pump or something, like a replacement or something, but it's not the same.
I wouldn't know, but
I would assume it's not the same.
I would assume there's something that can be done, but does he deserve it? Right? Like, if it is found that this guy lost his penis.
Or even if you got so drunk to the point that somebody did that to you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that when you're packed out, somebody should be allowed to rape you or shave your eyebrows or anything like that. But, I mean, if you have shitty friends, don't get drunk around them.
Oh, it's not the rule is don't fall asleep with your shoes on. Don't pass out with your shoes on. Make sure that if you're drinking, take your fucking shoes off, because I will shave your fucking eyebrows. Don't care. Don't fucking care. Like, oh, not all, both of them, because then you'll look like symmetrical. Yeah, fuck that. I mean, I wouldn't cross the line into bestiality. That's not funny. That's not cool. That's fucking, you know, that's messed up.
Yeah. And people, here's the thing. Like, don't do that to your pets or any animal. Like, don't break into a farm and have sex with somebody's sheep or horse. Stop that shit, man. That's disgusting. These are non-consenting animals that don't understand what sexual abuse is. Don't do that to them.
No, yeah, you want to go have sex with an animal, go fucking swim with the dolphins. They'll fuck you right up.
They'll fucking rape your ass and drown you.
Like, they'll love every fucking second of it. Like, there's an animal that will consent.
What's with the otters? They're also fucking rapists.
Yeah.
The otters? Oh my god.
I didn't know that.
They take baby seals and they fuck their corpses and they hold on to their heads for like weeks at a time and fuck their heads and everything. They're sick. Otters, I used to love otters. They're sick. And then I saw a video of otters jumping into the sky and pulling a monkey out of a tree and like 6 or 7 of them drowning a monkey.
Yeah, I've seen shit like that.
I'm done with otters, man. I'm done.
I mean, it's no different than our closest ancestor or relative, chimps. They're fucking savages.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
but I
mean,
otters are supposed to be, they're supposed to keep holding hands on their backs. They're supposed to be nicer than evil otters.
That's just because that's how movies fucking, you know, movies and TV make you feel. I mean, every time I see an elephant in a movie, I'm like, oh, what a cool animal, until it fucking stomps me to fucking death.
Whenever an elephant stomps a person to death, they deserved it.
Oh yeah, just sleeping in a tent in the forest elephant comes by. Yeah, fuck you, buddy. Definitely deserved it. Definitely deserved it.
How often do they stomp a camper to death? And why are you camping where elephants are? What the hell?
Because I live in India and there's such thing as forest elephants.
Okay.
You know, we don't have the right to judge because we don't. See, we live in a fucking city, though. We don't get to judge that kind of shit. Some fucking poor fucking sheep herder who's just herding his fucking sheep to the next fucking pasture. You know, I feel bad for that guy getting fucked up by an elephant or a tiger. Or
elephant, but he doesn't deserve that. But I'm talking about people that put them in circuses or them to put a stupid tourist on their back and wander around, or have a Kim Kardashian on their back. They deserve to be trampled.
I'm sure you've seen this, but Canada, or maybe it was this Ontario, banned all whales and dolphins in captivity.
Yeah, that's Canada.
Yeah, that should make you happy.
It does.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, that's a step in the right direction.
It is.
Right?
Oh, I got incensed. I was on Reddit looking for news stories, and I saw they're like, humpback whale exhibit set to open. I'm like, what? Yeah. And so I clicked on the article, and I'm like, if they're gonna have a humpback whale in captivity, but no, it's just they've made a movie and beautiful murals in Hawaii to learn about the humpbacks that swim in the area. So
how in the fuck could you even have one of those in captivity?
I was so angry. I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna do?
I've seen one of these fucking bastards in the wild. Like, no, there's nothing big enough to contain one of these damn things. Like, that's
oh my god! I saw the video of the people and the humpbacks came right up beside their kayak. I was like, oh my god, magic!
No, fuck that shit.
The whales, I know.
Fuck that.
I love the whales.
Fuck
let's talk about another story. This is coming from Canada. Finally got some Canadian stuff going on again. And this story made me laugh too because I could relate to this guy. So this is coming back from October 30th. So it's a little bit old, but Norfolk County in Ontario. I have no idea where that is. Southwestern Ontario, I guess. He got angry because his neighbor's dog barked and howled all day long, all night long, drove him crazy. So at between 2 and 2:30 a.m., he went next to the neighbor's house and their windows and proceeded to bark and howl. They were very angry and upset by this and called the police on him.
Yeah.
Now luckily there was no charges laid, and the police mediated the situation. But I mean, there's people out there that would have shot the dog or poisoned the dogs, did something really horrible to the dogs. This guy, I thought, went about it in a kind of, you know what? Have a little taste of your own medicine way.
Yeah, he attacked the owners, not the dog. You can't punish a fucking dog for doing what dogs do. They bark. You know what I mean?
Lock them outside. They're gonna bark and howl. Come on.
My dog loves just announcing her presence to the night sky. Like, loves it. You let her out when the fucking sun's down, and immediately, it's just fucking woof 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 woof.
Comes back, eh?
Right. But yeah, no. I give this guy props for attacking the owners and not the fucking puppy, because the puppy's not doing anything that's out
wonderful.
of.
Good for him.
Right? Because it's fair. You could have poisoned that fucking dog.
There's a lot of people who have retaliation on the dogs. Yeah. You know, even though, like you said, it's not the dog's fault.
It's not the dog's fault. Dog's doing what dogs do. You know, like you can't punish a fucking dog for being a dog. Like that's ridiculous. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same point in time, I get it. You know, like I understand the frustration. Dog barking is something that is instilled in humans for such a long fucking time. So the second we hear a dog barking, it's a warning to us.
Yeah.
Right. So we get up. We're just awake now. That's infuriating. It would fucking drive me nuts. Like I could even admit that.
I used to have a neighbor who lived across the street. They moved a few years ago. Mm-hmm. They had a little beagle they would put on the front lawn. It never wandered off. It didn't never have a leash.
Yeah.
But it would bark
all
the time it was out there. And, you know, it's like, I know it's not the dog's fault.
Nope.
I know the dog has to go outside, but, like, does it have to be outside for 2 hours barking out front? Like, at some point, bring your dog in the house.
Yeah. But, I mean, what can you do? You know what I mean? Like,
you know, when my dogs, if I hear my dogs barking outside, I go out and yell at them and, like, get in the house. What are you barking at?
Yeah, I normally tell Callie girl to shut her fucking yap, too. But she's a dog, and she's just going to keep barking until she's, you know, her little heart's content.
Yeah.
But,
what are you going to do? But I really do give props to this guy, and I hope these people kind of realized how annoying it can be. And
it absolutely can be. Like, it absolutely can be annoying. Especially if they're little yappy dogs. That little fucking shrill bark, it's hard to fucking get over, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It can be. Let's talk about this last story, and I think you're going to be angry when you read this or hear this. So we got a guy named Justin Levin. He's a paraplegic. That's not the story. The story is he arrived at Luton Airport. I don't even know where that is. Luton. Is that Europe? I have no idea. Anyway, he arrived there and his wheelchair didn't make it. It was left behind on a different flight or in a different airport.
Yeah.
So he gets there and the staff said, look, we don't have any self-propelling wheelchairs. Okay. We don't have any like little golf carts or any of those little automatic carts they have at airports. I guess Luton's a smaller airport. I don't know. But they said we do have the classic high back chair wheelchair where a staff member will push you around. Well, he was quite indignant to that. He said it was going to take away his self-independence. And so what he did was instead of being pushed around the airport, he dragged himself through the airport on the floor.
You know what? I was just going to say, if you want your independence, fucking get after it, bud. And he did. Congratulations. Like, seriously.
A little ridiculous, though? Like, really?
The fact is, you want to fly, you know, you want to travel, you take the fucking risk of your possessions being lost. It's just fucking nature of the game.
You have a wheelchair or not.
Doesn't matter.
It can be lost. Yeah.
You could be fucking flying with your puppy and your puppy's in a fucking crate and it might get stripped to fucking Sri Lanka and you're sitting there in Jamaica going, what the fuck? Doesn't matter. That's the risk you take traveling.
Yeah.
You know, no offense to anybody that's lost their shit. But if you want to be a dick about what they're providing, well then get on your fucking stomach and start crawling. And he did.
Well, he didn't do it like that. He sat on his bum and shifted himself backwards with his arm.
Even better. You know what I mean?
What everybody was from the article is saying, like, literally nobody in the airport, like, even kind of paid attention to him, which I think he probably wanted to see.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The only reason why people do that is so other people will commiserate with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I got to applaud this dude. Like he said, fuck you. It took away my dignity, and he went the most undignified way he could. But,
yeah.
You know, I can applaud that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to say because I obviously have not had to be forced into a wheelchair where I didn't have my own independence. But I don't know. It just seems strange to me. I don't know.
How so, though?
But I just feel like for like the 2 minutes it would have taken to push you to the taxi stand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. See that I can get. Like that I understand, and you know it is a little kind of bullshit to have that feeling like, oh well, you know, you fucking one thing fucked up, so I'm gonna, you know, make this giant scene. Like, give it a rest. You know what I mean? Like, fucking
prayer would have made him feel humiliated and degraded.
Yeah.
But like flopping around on the floor didn't.
Right.
And when he got to the actual outside, he had to sit in a luggage cart and pull himself the rest of the way to the taxi because he didn't want to drag himself on the cement. Why not just sit in a luggage cart the entire way?
So I'm gonna ask a question though. So now let's say I'm in the airport and I see this shit and I'm fucking laughing at it. Now, am I an asshole because I'm laughing? Because I'm laughing at a fucking
people.
Right, because I'm not laughing at his disability. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not laughing at the fact that he needs a wheelchair, but I'm laughing at the fact that this guy is such a fucking ruthless prick that he would rather drag himself.
And the airport said, "Look, we did the best we could."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Oh no, this is Glasgow Airport. Says they have a bunch of different ones. So they're just compared it to other airports. Luton Airport said they did everything that they could do.
Yeah.
They didn't have any other options, and they did everything they could. And he's just, on discovering that Mr. Levine's flight had arrived without his wheelchair, our teams worked hard to find a solution, offering Mr. Levine an assistant wheelchair as a temporary replacement.
Yeah.
He declined all offers of help as he deemed them unacceptable. While we apologize if he was dissatisfied with the service he received, we are satisfied that our agents and staff did all they could in difficult circumstances.
Okay.
And he admits that he was angry and he felt humiliated. Well, like, they didn't do it to you on purpose.
No, and that's it. Even the fact that they tried to rectify it, and you still want to be a dick about it, then by all means, man, go be a fucking dick about it. Go crawl around whatever the fuck country it is you're in, bud. No one cares. We did what we are supposed to do. We caused the problem. We offered a solution. You said you're too good for said solution. Well, deuces, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, see you later.
Yeah. So, I guess you didn't get as angry. I thought you were going to be angry at him. I thought you were going to be like, this asshole.
Like, normally I would get mad at something like that, but the fact that dumb fuck humiliated himself, that doesn't warrant my anger. Not at all.
Like,
not at all.
Like if you were so... I don't know. I'm not a handicapped person. I guess I should count myself lucky I'm not.
Yeah.
I just feel like crawling on the floor would be more humiliating than sitting in a wheelchair. To me.
Absolutely. Right? And like, let's face it, if he would have just accepted the fucking wheelchair from the airline, he probably could have gotten a few more things. But the fact that he started to be an asshole,
posters and all kinds of,
fucking A. Well, that's it, right? Like, most of these airlines, they run solely on reputation. You know what I mean? Like, that's how their business is drummed up. It's not because they're actually good. It's because people that have used them think they are.
And they'll tweet about you if you're not good.
Exactly. Fuck that guy. Hey, fuck that guy. Thanks for cleaning the floor, though. You know what I mean? Thanks for fucking butt sweeping the floor. Really appreciate that. Like,
yeah, I hope you really washed your hands good, because God knows where Luton is. I don't know where that is and what kind of, like, swine flu or chicken flu could be walking around on that floor.
Oh, it's a fucking airport. It's gross. Like, it's fucking gross.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. Like I said, we'll be back on Thursday at our regular time. Thanks for listening. And have a good day.
Yeah, take care.